Hey friends, it's Dearest, and this is easily going to be one of the biggest flexes of my entire channel and possibly career, because even right now I'm just like, that's how I feel right now. Because last month I received an email from the United States government on behalf of the Surgeon General to meet him here in Japan at a roundtable to discuss mental health, social media, and overall just the experiences of being a foreigner in Japan. Yeah, me too. I'm asking myself even now of like, how, why me? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm really passionate about talking about mental health and what I think about social media today. Like, I've talked about multiple times in the past, and I think I just answered my own question. I guess what happened was that there was already this project in play where the Surgeon General was going to come to Japan and meet a handful of American content creators to discuss just their thoughts about these topics. And so I'm assuming that the team went out looking for content creators, because to be honest, the thought of me being recommended because somebody in the White House is watching me just sounds so like far out of reach from reality that I can't imagine just somebody working under Biden, for example, and just like playing my video in the background. I cannot see that. I think after what happened though, definitely somebody up there knows me, and that's kind of cool, especially what I'm going to show you at the end of this video. I received something from the White House, a little token, if you will, signed by Joe Biden, but I'm going to organize this by telling you guys the story. So I received this email, and I saw the email was .gov, and at first I thought, is this real? So I did my research, and I was like, okay, it's legit. Number two, am I in trouble? Because I pay taxes. No, but I looked at the email, and basically the content of it was just asking if I was open to meeting with the Surgeon General. And for those of you that don't know, the Surgeon General is the public health officer of the government. So basically their job is to look over and report the health to the public. Their aim is to improve the nation's health, and so by doing that they do research, they travel, and in this case the Surgeon General's name is Dr. Vivek Murthy, not Murthy. They told me specifically in the document that it was Murthy. And after I got this email, I ran to my parents, told them about it, and my mom, being the director of nurses at her hospital, she was very well aware of who he was and was like, you already know the answer to this, you have to go. And so I said, I know, but what do I talk about? What do I do? What do I say?
What would I wear?
And she just said, just tell your experience. I think this whole thing is just them trying to understand the issues of social media and them trying to figure it out by literally talking with people in your generation, because your generation is not only the ones with content creators, but it's filled with people who are just really addicted to social media. And you said it yourself in videos that anxiety and depression is at its highest right now. So I think they just kind of want to figure out what's going on. So that's why they want to visit you. Why they wanted to do it in Japan, I don't know, but I mean, it is what it is. So I came back, replied back to the email, we scheduled a day, and then I also got to meet two other content creators. They go under HitoBito. Those were the only other content creators that were there, but basically we were all at this round table talking with the team and the Surgeon General. The Surgeon General came into the cafe, which was a really nice cafe in Tokyo. He came in with his uniform and he just sat down, and we had wonderful Japanese sweets while discussing about it. I don't have any footage from this time, but the Surgeon General's team was actually filming us, so I'm sure that they're going to be posting it on their social media somewhere, so I'll link that in the description too. And so yeah, we sat there and we just talked about our experiences. I personally dug more into my experience of being a content creator and what it's like on social media, and the fact that mental health is such a stigma in Japan and hardly ever talked about. Usually in Japan, a lot of them just kind of bear with it, and it's not really advertised or really even seen as a huge big problem. As the conversation went on, the Surgeon General started asking us more about how we deal with negativity in our lives and mixing that with social media. I basically told him that the way I view my problems is, how would I deal with this if the internet didn't exist? Because we live in a generation where all of our issues seem to be more amplified when it gets posted online, and it just becomes an even bigger issue than it probably even was. And honestly, that thought process to me just made sense and made things a lot easier. Also, as a foreigner in Japan, it's really pulling teeth to find professional help. Like, there's barely professional help as is, and when there is, either the queue is way too long Or when you go there, it's very like stone cold. I have Japanese friends who have been to therapy with a Japanese therapist, and it doesn't seem as intimate or as connecting as Western therapists are. And then as far as social media and content creating, I kind of talked about how I feel like it's really important for not only content creators, but just anyone addicted to social media to find a balance, literally go and touch grass, that do stuff that has nothing to do with social media. Don't worry about posting everything. So that's kind of what I was talking about. I talked about how I feel like a lot of people have, what's it called? A content brain, where they can't even go on a trip for fun without thinking about content, without thinking, oh, this is taking me away from work. And with all of that said, I kind of shared how I personally think that a lot of content creators have a really fragile ego where they put their own self-worth into their work. What do I mean by that? This is what I was talking about with the Surgeon General. I said that so many content creators, especially with the rise of TikTok, think that, oh, if my content is good, that means I'm good. If people like my content, that means they like me. If people don't like my content, that means that they don't like me and I'm a bad person. Which really, that's not reality. Your self-esteem starts to really walk on eggshells when you're doing content creating, especially if you're someone who shows their face on camera. And so basically Dr. Morthy was like, so how do you deal with it? So I basically said, I literally made a personal life that had nothing to do with social media. I went to school to teach myself Japanese. Sure, I made content with that later, but I didn't go in thinking about content. I have a lot of friends that aren't on social media, and that is so nice. My thing about workaholics is that they tend to take their work home with him. That's why it's so easy for content creators to fall into that, because most of us work from home. So that's why a lot of us tend to go to sleep with the stress of what we brought from the internet. So yeah, that was essentially the answer that I gave him, was like, people just need to like go out, get a passport, travel, and realize that the world is just not Twitter. So yeah, but that's definitely like a journey that I feel like everybody goes through, and there just comes a point where you just literally get so exhausted of just reading all this negativity. This is gonna sound so old with me saying this, but the conversation kind of ended with me venting of how when I was growing up on the internet and on social media, that was an escape from reality, from all the stresses that I was going on in school and at home. I'm an adult now, and now things have flipped. There's just so much stress online that I'd rather be out there than one more minute on Twitter at any time. I'd rather go out to, I don't know, like go shopping or go to a pool or something rather than spend one more minute trying to see who's canceled for the week. And so yeah, that's kind of the stuff I was talking about. And I don't know, saying all of this to people that I didn't even know, they all seem to kind of really understand where I was coming from. And it seems like everyone kind of felt this too. Anyways, on a lighter note, I think he took everything into account. Dr. Morthy was super nice, super casual. The sweets that we had were fantastic. He tried some matcha tea, which was really nice. And at the very end, the Surgeon General then gifted us with a token from the White House, which I'm going to show you right now. These are called presidential M&Ms. If you look here, it actually has the president's signature, Joe Biden, and the signature obviously changes depending on the person in presidency. And so in this case, it's Joe Biden, and we have the seal of the president here, and on the back, we have a little M&M guy. And I think that this design also changes with each presidency as well. And the only way you can get these M&Ms is either A, you fly Air Force One, B, you're a presidential guest, or C, you just know someone in the White House that can get you one of these. And that is pretty awesome. There must be somebody that's like reselling these, right? Let me just see. Presidential M&M. Oh, sheesh. Yeah, I'm keeping these. I am not eating these. I'm saving them for forever, okay? Because, like, not many people can say that they have this, and that's pretty awesome. I didn't even know that this was a thing, but when I was looking up on Wikipedia, apparently it's been a thing since Reagan. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to be saving these. It is balls hot in Japan right now. I'm keeping the AC as cold as I can in this room because God forbid that these things melt, I'm going to be pissed. It's not like I'm going to be putting these M&Ms in the snack cupboard. I know Joey's going to be eating them on accident. Whether you're political or not, or whatever party that you agree with, you got to admit, like, having one of these is actually pretty cool. And just the overall experience, I'm honestly really proud that I was part of it. I'm really passionate about talking about mental health. And you know, haters are gonna hate. I know that there was some people being like, why her? You know what? I don't know either, but I'm just glad that it happened anyway. And it's something that I'm gonna carry with me for the rest of my life. So there is footage of what we talked about, but again, that was all filmed by his team, which I think is all gonna be uploaded on the Surgeon General's Instagram. So I'll link that in the description. I don't know when they're going to be posting it, but hopefully sometime soon. I couldn't wait to make this video until then. I had to just tell you guys right off the bat. So yeah. But thanks you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video. Bye.